So let's move on to the next question, guys. It's given x is greater than y, and we have to find the relationship between x mod y and y square, right? So let's do one thing. Again, let's take some values and try putting those values into this variable, and then let's see what happens. And when I'm trying to solve the question, even I'm thinking right now at this moment what I should be doing. So eventually with practice, when you practice these questions and look over them a couple of times, even your mind will start working on how to approach such questions. So for example, let's say x is equals to plus 10, right? And y is equals to maybe 4, anything, right? So we are satisfying the given condition that 10 is greater than 4, x is greater than y, which is true, right? So we can take these two numericals. So what's the value of this x, which is 10, into mod y, which is mod 4, and this is y square, which means 4 square. So 10 into mod 4 is 440. This is 40, and this is 16, right? So in this case, this part is greater, right? Now see, the way you have to approach the question is that now intentionally you have to think of such a number so that this part becomes smaller and this part becomes greater, because in that case what will happen, in one case this is greater, in the other case this is greater and this is smaller, so the answer will become D, right? Because this is A, like if this is greater, then the answer is A. If we are able to pick some number such that this becomes greater, then the answer will be B. So A or B, so finally answer becomes D. So that is how we are trying to always think about and trying to solve the question. Now I can see over here, now just listen to how I'm thinking. I can see over here that this part will always be positive, right? Because it's y square. So any square, any number square will be positive. So if this side becomes negative, then automatically this side will become positive, right? I think that is one thing for sure. Now, how can this side become negative? Only when x is negative, right? Because mod y, any value of y you take, mod y will always be positive. So in order for me to make this whole side negative, I need x to be negative. So this is my second approach. For example, let's take x is equals to minus 4, any number, and we know x has to be greater than y. So for example, y is equals to minus 10, right? So we know that minus 4 is greater than minus 10. So the value, this condition is satisfied. So we can take these two numbers. Okay. Now let's try putting this. So x, which means minus 4, right, into mod of y, which is mod of minus 10, right? Y square, which is minus 10 square, right? So this becomes minus 4 into mod of minus 10 is 10, and this becomes minus 10 square, which is 100. So this becomes minus 40, and this becomes 100. So automatically this side becomes greater, and this is what I wanted to do. So now over here, if you see, the answer should be A because this is greater. Over here, the answer should be B because this is greater. So we cannot say if this is greater or this is greater, because in some cases this is greater, in other cases this is greater. So your final answer will be D. So this is how we approach such questions and a lot of other questions in the exam. So I hope this is clear.